Monday edition. Victory. Double victory Monday edition. Mr. Relevant, I'm Alex Strouf with you from the Gruber offices. One call, that's all studio at the Avenue, downtown Milwaukee. JOSHY DiMaggio is here. Will Sommers is here. We will get his weekend in review a little bit later in the show. Hunter Vaughn is back with us as well at the Everlight Solar Studio in downtown Madison. We have a lot of ground to cover today in the world of Wisconsin sports. Obviously, the Brewers punching their ticket to the National League Championship Series Game 1 between them and the Los Angeles Dodgers tonight at American Family Field. We will take a look at that series, take a look at the postseason roster, and recap less than 48 hours later the absolute euphoria that was Saturday night here in Milwaukee. We will take a look at the Packers and the Bengals briefly. The Packers advanced to 3-1-1 on the season after a win over Cincinnati 27-18 yesterday at Lambeau Field. I was up there for that one as well, so we'll dive into that game a little bit. And as I mentioned, we'll hit Will's week. We'll also hit what we missed, which may include a quick, very quick conversation on the awful Wisconsin Badgers who got their brakes beat off by the Iowa Hawkeyes at Camp Randall on Saturday. I'm also good, but I feel like we just need to save like 30 seconds for it.
Here, I got it covered. They're ass and they should fire everyone.
I think that's probably a pretty darn good summary by Josh DiMaggio.
And that's talking Badgers football.
There we go. You have it. All right. I already see everybody rolling in. Levi says, let's go Brewers. Matthew says, Brewers. Wisco Ted, who I met yesterday at Lambeau Field. Ted, thanks for introducing yourself. Said game day, Brewers. M. Pip says, brew frickin' crew. Love to see the Brewers energy popping up early on this edition of Mr. Relevant. So what better place to start than there? The Milwaukee Brewers, for the first time since 2018 and only the fourth time in franchise history, are heading to the National League. Well, a championship series, I should say, for the fourth time in franchise history. But for the first time since 2018, the National League Championship Series, as they will take on the Dodgers. And that win on Saturday and that win in the divisional series was so impressive by this Brewers team. They had the momentum heading to Chicago for Game 3. They lost the momentum, lose 2 in a row. It forces a Game 5. And this team responds exactly how they have all season with their ultimate maximizer manager, Pat Murphy. Trevor McGill starts the game, opens the game, if you will, for the Brewers. Something that I don't think we can say enough of is, and I just said it, he's a brilliant maximizer. Pat Murphy, the maximizer of talent. I think about two guys that have had rather weird, rocky seasons despite the highs, who played significant roles in that game on the mound on Saturday. I think of Jacob Misiorowski. The guy finally gets called up, one of the top prospects in the Brewers farm system for years, gets the call, and he comes out on fire. I mean, this guy's throwing 104 miles an hour like it's taking 3 steps down the street. It's unbelievable how easy he makes it look. He's named an all-star. And then all of a sudden, it seems like, no pun intended, he lost his fastball a little bit in the second half of the season. And we were having all these debates about Jacob Misiorowski leading up to the playoffs. Should he be? Should he not be on the postseason roster? And my goodness, does he come through. 4 innings in Game 5 on Saturday against the Cubs. Misiorowski, terrific. How about Chad Patrick? A guy that, at the All-Star break, had started as many games as anybody for the Brewers in the first half of the season. Then gets sent back down to AAA, and we're not certain we're going to see him again. Eventually gets called back up at the end of the season and plays in 4 out of 5 games in the series, all out of relief. The first 4 times in his MLB career, he's come out of the bullpen. He was awesome for them in that series and also awesome for that in that Game 5. I just can't give enough credit to those two guys and the way Pat Murphy utilized those two guys, not only in Game 5, but that entire series. But that's such a good summary of what this season has been for the Milwaukee Brewers. Guys you don't necessarily expect to come through for you, come through when it matters most. And that's specifically the case with Jacob Misiorowski and Chad Patrick, not to mention a guy like Andrew Vaughn, who also had a great series.
I know you mentioned Trevor, but the fact to get that first inning clean that felt like the biggest weight you've ever seen lifted off of the Brewers team as a whole shoulder. The way he was fired up, That to me was as important of a spot to use him in, and then to trust Abner to go 6 outs in that spot, to wait on the bench and come back out and look just as good as he did the first time out there. Incredibly impressive. I think the Miz was the most important player in all of the NLDS. I think the Brewers don't make it through without him performing like he did in the spots he did, and for as long as he did in each of those. I mean, you said it. There was debate on whether he could be on the roster or not. And then game 2, in a high-pressure situation, they throw him out there. He does everything you ask of him. Then in an elimination game, the stakes even higher, the crowd around you, he manages to dial back his mile per hour and just deliver strike after strike. The one home run, which hit a good pitch, it
was the first batter he faced.
The game gets dicier if you're having to mix and match more.
Yeah.
You needed 4 from him there. You could probably get by with a couple of the bullpen arms that they did have. But who better with the way he's pitching? Why not let him do the 4?
I agree with you on that. But the thing that's so impressive with Jacob Misiorowski, and we've seen this a few times from him this season in the regular season, is he kind of needs to get rocked to settle in. First batter he faced, and this is not the first time or second time or maybe even third time it's happened for him. The first batter he faces, he allows a home run, and then he's just awesome.
I feel like wasn't one of his first starts exactly that?
Yes, it happened several times to him, where he would allow a leadoff home run.
Yes,
and then he just settles in, and that's what happened. And luckily, that was the only run that comes scored on Saturday.
They're almost always opposite field. They throw the bat at it, and he throws it so damn hard that just making barrel contact with it, it's likely going out. You just can't say enough about how important he was. Also, the amount of guts it took for a guy, basically, Pat Murphy said as much, that we can't trust at this point right now, to be put in those situations. Those games could have gotten ugly on him. Mm-hmm. He's given up 5, 6, 7 runs before in an That's stuff that is he's no stranger to.
Sorry, go ahead.
So to keep him in there and keep trusting him after that, to me, was unbelievable.
Polite of you to apologize. Go ahead.
I was going to say, his progression, like the way he's pitched throughout the season and how it's changed from when he first came up till now, is remarkable, too. Like, we see him dropping in sliders and curveballs now for strikes, where earlier in the year he was just predominantly all fastball. And I think facing him as a hitter earlier in the year, you're just thinking fastball, 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 which probably led to a lot of the games where he was giving up a lot of runs. But I almost felt like at points he was leaning on his slider and his curveball more than anything.
It seemed like his slider was his strike pitch, especially in game 2. It was, I need a strike here. Here comes the slider.
It was awesome.
Yes.
Who are we expecting to pitch tonight for the Brewers? I want to get to the series as a whole in a minute, but we still don't have an announced starter. I would guess Quinn Priester. But the fact that it's now 1:00, I'm thinking
we also were saying that for Game 5, and it was Trevor McGill.
Correct. And I'm starting to think it might be a similar situation tonight.
Pat on the back to me.
If I had to make a list of the top 7 guys to start Game 5, I don't think Trevor McGill would have been on
I don't think he would have been on my list either.
For Game 5?
Yeah, I would have put, because I would just assume they would use him in the back end.
Yeah.
So when I described myself as seeing the Matrix and being in tune, I was correct?
Yes. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, you were.
I think you can go any number of directions here. I think it's almost certainly opener, because if it was just a starter, you would have announced.
Can we just do me a favor and not make it Aaron Ashby?
I think they might be a little hesitant to do that.
I think that would be wise.
But you can make a justification for a lot of it, and it depends on. So when you go which opener should we go with, you have to think of, well, what do these top 3 guys in their order likely hit the best of it? And once we announce our starting pitcher, who then are they going to react with? I believe Dave Roberts called it the Teoscar tax. So basically, if you try and go righty lefty, they think they have an answer, and let's be quite frank about it, they do. They have an answer for whatever you throw at them, but you're trying to find your answer best. The reason Quinn Priester didn't start Game 2 like we all were expecting to be the case, until they got kind of cagey with who actually was going to be starting, was The Cubs lineup, top of the lineup, hits against the sinker and slider so well. So if they think there's a positive matchup based on which guy throws the best, be it whatever he's using, then you adjust it. So I think we probably are in a spot where we want an out-getter for the first three, and then we roll with whoever we feel most comfortable with.
Your gut tells you what today?
I don't think it's McGill again. That doesn't feel right. It wouldn't entirely shock me. He can definitely pitch 2 innings in 2 games. Is it Chad Patrick?
That was my thought.
And maybe if he's pitching well, you let him go?
Yeah, that was my thought.
You let him go 2-3 and say, hey.
Because it was an inning and 2/3 on Saturday.
Yep.
Obviously, he pitched in 4 of the 5 games in the series, but there was much more rest involved in the NLDS than there is in the NLCS. So I'm intrigued to see how they handle that. But my thought was, I think they go Chad Patrick. Obviously, they elevated Tobias Myers today.
I think Tobias is going to be there to get multiple outs throughout this game.
This game?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think he certainly is there for a reason. And I mean, he's shown he trusts him a decent amount, but like Ashby hasn't looked great, but they trusted him all year long.
So Chad Patrick threw 62 pitches in the series entirely in the NLDS. Only 25, which was his maximum on Saturday. But it was only 4 on Thursday. And now, I mean, it's been a week at that point.
Would they go Koenig?
That's what I was going to say. The most important out of the first 9, the first 3 innings of the game is going to be the first one, and that's Shohei Ohtani, the lefty-lefty.
Yeah.
So on that point, they didn't use him on Saturday. So he'd be available.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So we all have different answers.
I think he warmed up, right? He didn't go in, though.
He did. Yeah, he was up in the bullpen.
Yeah, I mean...
Hold on, just see if we can get a 4th name. Hunter, you got a 4th name for us that you think could be the opener tonight?
I honestly, guys, I have no idea. And it's like making me more anxious about this game because I keep thinking about it. And I could talk myself into Priester. I could talk myself into Koenig. I could talk myself into anybody. I could talk myself into them starting the Miz. Like, that's just where I'm at with the way that Pat Murphy treats this bullpen and his pitchers. And that's great because I'm sure the Dodgers are doing the same thing right now of, like, what are they going to do? But I don't know. I don't know, and I don't know what to do. And we still have, like, 6 hours until this game starts. And I'm going to game 2, so I'm going to be even worse than driving into that game, and I'm going to drive my wife crazy.
The thing with Chad Patrick is he's clearly now a weapon they want to use multiple times. So it wouldn't be totally surprising for them to go, hey, man, you've pitched kind of a lot recently, just in the past week or so. If you get us 3 here, we then are basically going to give you tomorrow off, and then we're going to probably use you in another multi-out role throughout the game 3, game 4. All that seems possible because Freddie is game 2, right? That's
been announced. Yeah. It'll be Yamamoto and Freddie tomorrow night.
Yeah. So that makes sense because you really wouldn't expect to have to use him in a Freddie game. All things considered, and you feel good enough about the arms you have there.
I can tell you one thing. I'm no longer going to doubt Pat Murphy's decisions.
Good call.
Yeah, you were anti-McGill.
I said I would convince myself by the start of the game that it was the right decision. I did. And it played out exactly why.
After the first inning, you convinced yourself? Yeah.
Right before first pitch.
Oh, okay, sure. Yeah, okay, give me credit. Hunter, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I think the only 2 names we're for sure, actually, I guess 3 as I think through it. The 3 names we're for sure out on are going to be Freddie, obviously, because he's starting game 2, and then Quintana, because I think we all expect him to be the starter game 3, and then obviously Abner.
But then again, I don't know. It could be Quintana tonight, and then it could be Priester game 3.
But I feel better about I think they would feel better about Quintana starting a road NLCS game compared to Priester.
I agree with you, but I've been wrong on this already this postseason.
If the NLDS taught me anything, do not expect starting pitchers to go besides Freddie. Don't expect them to start the game.
Yeah.
They clearly feel good enough about the guys they have there. They feel about the guys who can go multiple innings. I'd cross off the Miz starting. I cross off Peralta starting and Abner.
All right, YouTube. Let me know who you think's opening the game tonight. I want to give credit to somebody on our watch along tonight. So if you're watching with us on YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee, at ESPN Madison, who is going to open the game for the Brewers tonight? Give me your prediction. That way I can shout out who's ever right on the watch along tonight, which we will be doing on YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee. All three of us in Milwaukee will be there tonight, right? Josh, you're going to be there?
Yes.
Will, you're going to be there?
Yes, sir.
I'm going to be there. We'll be joined by Ben Brust. It'll be the four of us, is my understanding.
I'm going Koenig and Patrick. Those are my two options. I'm taking
I think
two.
it's going to be Chad Patrick.
I'll take Koenig. I like Koenig.
Hunter, did you give us an answer? Or did you say you don't have an
He's
answer?
just said he's anxious.
I don't have an answer. I'm way too much in my head about this whole thing.
Hey, man, I get it. I was feeling the same way before Game 5. I hear you.
Well, and then, I mean, at this point, everybody's seen how I reacted on Wilde and Tausch to them playing like crap in Chicago. So I'm just...
Well, they played like crap in Game 4.
They should have won Game 3. And I'm still going to be frustrated about that. And this, I have...
What do you mean you're
Why?
going to be frustrated about
Why?
that?
That was a
Doesn't
series
matter.
ago.
It's over.
We won.
Because my expectation for them is to play like a World Series team. They were not playing like a World Series team in those two games. So my expectation is for every single
but
game
hold on.
for them to play like that.
Hold on.
But
You expect
Hunter,
them not to lose?
I expect them to go into every game and win every game. Yes, I have that expectation for them because they're that good.
Well, you realize that
that's
you
not
set
gonna
yourself
happen.
up to
Yeah,
fail.
You've set yourself up to fail.
So you're just going to go into Game 4 and just be like, okay, they're going to lose. Like, no. I'm
So
going to
the
go
Dodgers
into
aren't a
it
World
saying I
Series team.
expect
No,
them to
that's
win
not
the
what
game.
I'm saying.
No,
But I'm going into the series at large, which is a
I
maximum of
expect
7
them
games.
to win the series.
I expect them to win at least 4 of the 7.
And
Yes.
before every
Same with the
game, I'm
Cubs, at
going
least
to go into it expecting the Brewers to win that game. And when
Right,
they
but
don't
then
win
when
that
they
game,
lose,
I'm going
you
to
go,
hold them to the standard
hey,
of saying, hey, you should have won
hey,
this
it's
game.
Major League
This is why
Baseball.
you didn't.
Sure.
I don't know what we're working with right now.
I don't either.
It's hard for me to comprehend.
Yeah, I mean, you're allowed to be frustrated. I'm not disagreeing with that.
Game
you,
4
though?
was frustrating.
Game 4 was incredibly frustrating. 3 hits isn't going to win you a whole lot of games in
Yeah.
postseason. I get that. And this rant, which Dr. Denver Dan, not me, for the record, Dr. Denver Dan called it this, not me. He said that temper tantrum was unreal by Hunter. I didn't call it a temper tantrum. That was Dr. Denver Dan.
You know, Dr. Denver Dan, I used to be a fan of yours. You came real close to getting banned from the ESPN Madison YouTube chat on Friday. Like, I literally had my finger on the button. So
that
watch
was around
yourself,
bands.
pal.
Yeah, I mean, you're the band guy.
Yeah,
here.
but only in watch-alongs. Only in watch-alongs. I don't do them on real shows. I only do them when
I'll do it.
when we're vibing.
I had people in the pregame chat yesterday saying, Strouf, don't ban me.
That's funny. I didn't have it up yesterday.
It was funny.
On Green Bay Game Day? Yeah, that's good.
Strouf was a clown guy, was on your ass.
Yeah, he always is. Dr. Denver Dan said, I said what I said, Hunter.
Love it. You doubled down.
And then he said, people lose, dude. You're giving a football take, which is fair.
Yeah.
It's a football mindset applied to baseball. Again, I think they should win every game as well. But that I understand they're going to lose sometimes. That's why
Yes,
teams don't go 162-0 or 159-3 throughout the season. It's baseball. Sometimes it's just the other team's day.
And I get that, but I still don't think that changes then when you look back on a game saying, hey, this is the expectation. These were the things they didn't do to meet that expectation, and still holding them to that.
But, I mean, the eventual World Series winner is going to have games when you look back and go, hey, they probably should have won that game.
Yeah.
Or
and in that moment,
a team with
after
these
those 2
expectations.
losses, I still think it was completely fair to say, hey, this team is not doing enough right now. They were not performing in a way of saying, yep, this is a World Series caliber team after those 2 games.
Here's a question. If the Brewers win the World Series, God hope, will you remember Game 4 of the NLDS and that still be a bugaboo to you? Because it feels like it would be.
Yes.
Given the fact that rant is now on the internet forever, I mean, I'm probably not going to escape it. So, not that it went as viral as Strouf's 3-cone at all, like, thank God. But, I mean...
Hunter Hunter's going to be buying his World Series shirt and shaking his head on the way to the cash register.
That damn game 4. That damn game 4, man.
Only because of how, and it's, look, I tweeted about this, like, the people in my apartment complex absolutely hate me because of, like, I am every strike and ball getting excited and then being like, oh, come on, make that pitch. Like, I'm living and dying with every single pitch, which has been fun, and I love postseason baseball, and I'm so happy that the Brewers are finally in a spot to where I can enjoy this. But it's just how I am. I get super high with my team. I'm going to get super low with my team too.
All right, I want to get to a couple more things on this series in a moment, but we do have some breaking news from the NFL. We have our first head coaching firing of the season. The Tennessee Titans have fired head coach Brian Callahan here in only, I believe, his second season.
Your underdog pick of the week.
Yeah, I was just about to say it was the Strouf. It was the Strouf jinx.
Did I not say like they're on the verge of firing their coach on Friday when we talked about this?
I think you did, and here we are, and they have. Now, granted, I thought they were going to turn a corner because I'm a Cam Ward believer. And clearly the Titans are too, but Brian Callahan has been fired after the 20-10 loss to the Raiders and the 1-5 start to the season for Tennessee.
We ass. Gonna keep it a buck.
We ass. And they're not blaming the rookie quarterback, number 1 overall pick. They're blaming the head coach. So Brian Callahan is out of Tennessee.
I don't know if I mentioned this on Friday, but there's a war going on between the analytics guy and the films guys on Cam Ward.
Yeah, you did mention this on Friday.
Yeah, he's looked really good in moments and really bad in others.
Now, he doesn't have a lot of weapons around him in his defense.
No.
The Titans are really bad.
Really bad.
And Calvin Ridley got hurt again. So there you have it. All right, that's your Tennessee Titans minute here on Mr. Irrelevant. Let's get back to
more than we'll spend on the Badgers.
You might be right about that. All right, let's get back to Brewers-Dodgers because I have a problem with the way this series is being painted. I keep seeing the same phrase used over and over again to describe Brewers-Dodgers in the NLCS, and that, of course, is David versus Goliath. And while I understand why people are painting it that way, the Dodgers are first in MLB payroll in 2025. The Brewers are mid-20s. It's a mid-market team versus one of the 2 biggest markets in American sports in Los Angeles. It's the reigning World Series champions against a team that some people, I think, caught lightning in a bottle and won 97 games in the regular season with a group of misfits led by the likely back-to-back NL Manager of the Year, Pat Murphy. It doesn't feel to me like this is David versus Goliath. Now, we obviously know the name of David versus Goliath because, well, David won, and that would be the Brewers in this case. But this doesn't feel fair to the matchup we have. Sure, the Dodgers are riddled with generational talents and superstars, but that didn't matter in the regular season when the Brewers won all 6 games between these 2 teams. It doesn't feel to me like the team that has home field advantage in the series is getting the respect they deserve. Whether you look at sportsbook odds of the winner of this series or you listen to the national commentary around this, as I call them, group of misfits, it doesn't feel like they belong when, in fact, what we've said since May is the Brewers continue to prove they belong. So this series, 7 games, World Series spot on the line, just feels like a great opportunity for the Brewers to do what they've done all season long. And that is show that they belong. So to me, this isn't David versus Goliath. This is more Ali Frazier. These are the 2 best teams in the National League all season long. And the team that proved they were superior in the regular season were the Brewers. They're Ali in this matchup. And while the Dodgers, yes, they won the World Series last year. Yeah, maybe they lifted the world heavyweight belt before. But they're not the favorite here. The team that's going to get 4 home games in this series. The team that won 97 games in the regular season. The team that swept the regular season series, they're Muhammad Ali. The Brewers are Ali, and the Dodgers are Frazier going into this series. Both great. It's going to be viewed as a heavyweight title bout because the World Series is on the line. But I don't view this as David versus Goliath. I view this as Ali versus Frazier.
That's cute. It's payrolls. It's talent.
Sure.
It's superstar. It's Hall of Famers.
But the highest payroll doesn't equal a championship every year, Joshie. We're smarter than
Sure
this.
doesn't. But when you have more recess, more resources, when you have what people would envision as more talent, you are going to be put in that category. Let's be frank. About every single team in the MLB is David to the Dodgers Goliath. The Mets, the Phillies, the Yankees. Do we include anyone else? Maybe the Cubs, even though they're kind of like
they're like number 9.
They're kind of like little brother to Goliath.
They're little brother to David. Actually, get it right.
True. Fact. Also fact. But I meant in terms of, I'm not going to bury my head in the sand on this. The Dodgers are a damn good baseball team and have no reason not to be a World Series winner again. That doesn't mean over the course of 7 games they won't lose to the Milwaukee Brewers, because the style of play that the MLB playoffs require is one that's rather conducive to the way the Brewers do play the game. But let's not cut ourselves short here. Shohei Ohtani's over there. Mookie Betts is over there. Freddie Freeman's over there.
Again, I said
Blake Snell's over there.
I get you have some generational talents, right?
Yeah.
They have a bunch of really good players who, if we were to power rank the best players in the series, the top 5 probably are on LA.
9 probably.
That's probably far.
Take pitching into account.
Include pitching.
Freddie's not getting the credit he deserves. Then would be the argument I'd make.
Yeah, fair. Maybe Freddie's 7, and then you can slot in. The thing is, baseball is baseball, and that's not incredibly profound. But what it means is, Freddie Freeman might not show up.
Yep,
he could be 1 for 30 in this series.
Joey Ortiz might show up.
But again, I know we're doing the payroll thing, and you get all these generational talents. But let's keep in mind, payroll is only part of this story. It's 3 times the amount of the Brewers. I get that. I understand.
That's a lot more.
It's like $350 million versus
is the same as the Brewers' payroll. That's how much more.
I understand
they pay.
that. I get that. But we got to stop acting like the Brewers are some massive underdog in this series because of it.
Well,
because
they are.
The number 2 payroll in baseball didn't even make the freaking playoffs this year.
Yeah.
And I understand it's the Mets and they are incompetent.
They're special time.
I understand that, right? I get it entirely.
Yes.
But that is just the proof. That is reality.
Here's the thing. If it was up to payroll and payroll alone, the Dodgers would have won every World Series for the past 10 years.
Correct.
But it's not. And it never has been. But if you're able to do it, you should be even more proud of yourselves. Let me tell you, the Brewers are thinking of themselves as the underdog, and it's half the motivating factor. They know we aren't as highly regarded as pretty much anyone on that other roster. But guess what? We play baseball the right way. We play it hard. We take extra bases. We don't make errors, and we show up in big moments. And that's going to be what decides it. Are there going to be enough moments for the Brewers, enough big moments, enough big performances that elevate them game by game? I expect them to lose a game or 2 this series. Hunter, I'm sorry, that might be hard to hear, but I expect them to lose as many as 3. There's no reason the Brewers can't take this to Game 7 and win it on their home field like they did the Cubs in Game 5. The recipe's there. You've beat them 6 times. Yes, there was a lot of injuries, but guess what? You still beat them, and you can still beat them again. Those games, the Brewers were far better in those games. And that's just, are they going to be able to string together another performance like that over the course of 7 games? I think, with what I've watched throughout the course of the year, the Brewers barely lost 3 games in a row. They have the home field advantage. Everything you would want to be going in their favor, they have. The only thing is they've got Terminator, they've got Wolverine, they've got
the Predator,
freak shows. Yeah, they've got freak shows over there. And you're going to need to have some of them have really bad series. And it's happened in the past. The Brewers could do it, but I'm not going to slight the Dodgers. I'm not going to disregard them. I'm not going to go in here thinking, this is going to be easy. Everyone knows if you go 7, you feel really damn good about that 7th game in AmFam Field.
Shohei, go play. No way. Yo, hey.
What are we doing?
Brewers in 5.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, that was awful.
Why don't you leave that kind of stuff to me?
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Horrible. No
Strouf,
offense.
I don't understand your
Offense.
almost all season you have played into the Brewers being underdogs. Even to the point once they had the best record in baseball and they were playing like the best team in baseball in the regular season, you were still like, this is an underdog team. They're misfits. Like, that was exactly what you talked about regularly.
They are misfits. I still stand by that. Yeah.
But now all of a sudden it's like, oh, no, now they're not. Like, no, they still are, man.
It's still a group of misfits. I don't think that changes, but the proof is in the pudding. We have a 170 roughly game sample size for both of these teams. I mean, they're that good. Just because it's a bunch of guys who maybe going into the season you didn't expect to be as good as they are. Will's twin, Caleb Durbin, becoming an everyday third baseman for you, right? That's something you didn't see coming. Blake Perkins and Jacob Mizarewski and Chad Patrick playing the crucial roles they have. Andrew Vaughn reviving himself from practically the dead in Chicago. You've got a group of guys who are truly super talented, clearly, but you didn't expect them to all come together through the power of friendship and create the winningest team in baseball and an unbelievable home field atmosphere that rivals anybody left between Seattle, Toronto, and LA. The fact of the matter is the Brewers are the best team in baseball. And I get that. Okay, yeah, their payrolls, the Dodgers payroll is 3 times as much as the Brewers is, and they have all this generational talent, and they have all these great players, and they're the reigning World Series champions. I understand all of that, but the proof is in the pudding in terms of what we have seen. The sample size is large enough. The Brewers are better than everybody else. They just have been. So, to your point earlier, Hunter, the expectation is to win a World Series. I agree with that. The expectation is to win a World Series when you have the season the Brewers have. So, bring on the disrespect if you want to. But again, I don't view this as David versus Goliath. That's my ultimate point here. That's the narrative that has bothered me all weekend since the Brewers won on Saturday night, because it doesn't feel to me like this is David versus Goliath. That's like saying it's the Reds versus the Dodgers in the NLCS. Or like the Cardinals versus, that's David versus Goliath. This is the best team, the best record in baseball who swept you in the regular series versus apparently Goliath because they have a massive payroll. We have proof. This is the better team.
But Strouf, literally what you were talking about with the team and how no one expected Caleb Durbin to be an everyday third baseman. Nobody expected this. Nobody expected the Miz yet. Those things have never been said about a single one of the players the Dodgers have. That's why they're Goliath. Those guys were guys that were drafted, and instantly people were like, oh, yep, they're amazing. And then the Dodgers grabbed them if they weren't already in their organization. That's the difference. That's why they're still Goliath in this, because every one of those players were expected to be generational talents, and they have been generational talents.
How many Milwaukee Brewers rosters could fit inside the contract of Shohei Ohtani?
Several, I would imagine. Yeah.
Is it 5 or 6?
Yeah, it's got to be something like that.
I think I understand where you're coming from, and the results are the results. The players are the players, and the team is what the record is. But I also think you're kind of doing a disservice for just how impressive Pat Murphy's job has been, how impressive Matt Arnold
I'm doing
has
a disservice?
Right, because you're like, well, they're just like them. Well, no, they're not.
No, I'm not saying they're not.
Knows.
I've called them misfits 100 times.
I don't know what your challenge of David and Goliath is. Like, Vegas, have you looked at the series odds?
Yeah, I think it's ridiculous. I'm going to put some cheddar on the Brewers. I'm going to be happy I did.
By the way, I crunched the numbers real quick.
But they're doing it objectively. There's no phantom.
I don't know about that.
So
There you go. When I bring up a good point and you don't like it, nah.
I crunched the numbers. Shohei Ohtani, $700 million contract. The Brewers payroll, $122 million. 5.73 Brewers rosters.
That's hilarious. I mean, Shohei's. By the way, I love the fact they're playing the Dodgers from a baseball perspective because of the crappy narratives like that. But I also love that they're playing the Dodgers because, as I've said a few times, the Dodgers just have some generational talent. Yeah. And as a baseball fan, it's awesome to watch.
Yes.
Now, I hope they light up Shohei Ohtani when he eventually pitches. And I hope he doesn't hit 1 million home runs.
He strikes out 37 times.
But Shohei is the best player we've ever seen. Period. End of sentence. I don't think anybody can disagree with that at this point.
Nope.
Right? Mike Trout was amazing. And then they were on the same team, and you're like, wait a minute, he's not even the best player on his team.
Nope.
I think it's honestly kind of disrespectful of Shohei to bring up Mike Trout in the same sentence.
Yeah, you're right. You might be right.
The thing is, though, Mike Trout, for like a period of 6 years, was the best baseball player to ever live.
Yeah, he was so good.
Yeah.
And then injuries hit him. Yeah. But then a freak show who can do both things extremely good showed up, and it said, huh. And I guess that is to Will's point, but it's like, it's almost a different conversation we're having when we talk about Shohei. There's a guy who's really good both ways, who's a Hall of Fame level hitter and a fringe Hall of Fame level pitcher. And then there's like a surefire Hall of Fame hitter.
Yeah, I wasn't disrespecting Trout. I was just saying Shohei is a unicorn.
I do think we're getting a little... how good Mike Trout is being lost because of the team he played for and the injuries he had late in his career. But I mean, everything pointed to him, if he stayed healthy, being...
Oh, he's unbelievable.
Yeah.
But Shohei, again...
I mean,
this guy's an unbelievable talent, and you mentioned the Blake Snells and the Yamamotos of the world. Clayton Kershaw is still on that team, by the way. He's been bad in the playoffs, but I mean, like, that's a Hall of Famer.
I just want to warn you guys. At some point in this series, there is going to be a game where it looks like the Brewers didn't leave the dugout because they're that good and that talented.
You're going to get like a Teoscar Hernandez, like 3 home run game.
When the Brewers score 27 runs tonight,
hey,
I want JOSHY to remember that.
All I care about is winning more of them. Winning 4 of the next 7.
Yeah.
I don't care how they look, how you get there, but that team, one day, all top 5 hitters are going to hit, and it's going to be like, holy crap.
Yeah.
It's 14-3.
Yeah. Mr. Fantasy chimes in. Snell, Kershaw, Ohtani, Glass, now Freeman, Betts, Wolf.
Yeah.
Amazing. All right,
the first time we mentioned Glass now?
Yeah, it is, and he's phenomenal.
He's like their 4th starter.
That's the thing, dude. Like, this team is stacked. I'm not denying that. It's more so I think the Brewers are also really, really good and playing so well and have been for months, and that deserves recognition too.
Beauty of baseball. It takes more than one player.
Sure
or
does.
4 of them.
or like
10.
14 of them. Yeah, exactly. All right, we will. That's that. I don't know that anybody cares what our predictions are. We're all picking the Brewers in 7. Just a group pick, Brewers in 7.
Yeah. Give me him in 6.
Whoa.
Hey.
Can I get a 5? Can I get a 5? 5 going once.
Nah,
5 going twice.
They'll copy the Bucks' destiny.
Hunter's got him in 4.
I expect it, yeah.
No, Hunter's got the Dodgers in 4.
Yeah.
Okay.
Get the Dodgers in 3. We're going to forfeit.
No. You guys, why'd you rattle his cage like that? We were having
is
fun.
so uncalled for.
I'm having fun.
I expect the Brewers to win. I think the Brewers will win. I think the Brewers are going to win a World Series. I made a comment to Strouf before the show even started. Hey, Brewers win the World Series. I think I'm going to get the Barrel Man tattoo. Like, the Brewers are winning the World Series.
I don't think you made that comment.
You should get game.
Oh, well, I made it to
NLDS
somebody else in the
on here.
office. Yeah, Brewers win the World Series. I'm going to get the Barrel Man tattoo. I decided on that this morning.
I want to top this off with a comment here. Hunter, I love you. And I think what everyone can take away from this is these are the emotions of really high hopes and a really good baseball team and the things it makes you say.
Yeah.
Yep.
You're all over the map right now.
Yeah, you really are.
Dude, I am so glad that Sarah was not in the apartment while I was watching Game 5.
Yeah.
That adds up.
That's the
that
thing.
adds up.
We're going to Game 2. She's never seen me like this. because like
Hopefully,
it's man.
hopefully they have a 1-0 lead. I really hope they have a 1-0 lead when you could have kicked it.
Yeah.
I'm just putting it that way.
I need the possibility of him walking out 0-2 in like through the parking lot
And us having a show the next day.
Yeah, that's going to be something. Daniel chimes in and says, didn't you just say Brewers in 5, Alex? I did say that, but that was more the Shannon. It was the Shannon Sharp that was the sports commentator? Shannon, right?
Yeah.
Sterling was the Packer. Shannon Sharp did the Lakers in 5 thing. I was just copying him. I was just making a joke.
Poorly copied.
Wasn't a real prediction. Oh, well, he always did like the, I don't have an example off the top of my head. He would do things that rhyme and then he'd say, Lakers in 5. Nothing?
Is it working for anyone else?
Maybe if he gave me an example.
I knew what he was trying to do. He just did it so poorly that I'm like, I can't acknowledge this.
Yeah. That's often our issue on here.
We'll workshop it tonight.
Yeah.
On stream.
No.
Watch party, 7 p.m. Be there, be square.
So it's me, Josh, Will, Brusty, is my
Yes.
understanding. Will, this will be your first one. What are you expecting?
A lot of energy.
Okay.
Yeah, we're getting to a point here. I'm going to keep grinding. It's been a lot. I feel emotionally drained from Game 5, going to the Packers, being disappointed by their performance, and then we're just right back at it. I feel like I needed an extra day off. I'm happy it's here because the anxiety of Game 1 being Tuesday would have significantly ramped each day, but it feels like I needed another breather.
That's what happened to me on Saturday.
Yeah. So it's a double-edged sword.
Yeah, what happened to me on Saturday was because we did our pregame show with Gabe Neitzel, and I was just a puddle of myself. I was a mess.
It was too long. The layoff was too long for you.
Yeah,
It got to you.
yeah, it did. So good to be back at it. All right, here we go. Let's get the Packers real quick. Let's just jump to it. Packers
You
win.
okay? You just kind of went to nothing there.
No, I'm not okay. To be honest with you, I'm just ready for it to be 7:08. I'm nervous. I'm kind of in Hunter's camp. I'm actually just a little bit more composed because it's only Game 1. If we're doing this ahead of a Game 7 on Monday, I'm going to be nervous. Also, Will, Chef Ed's calling you. So if you want to talk to him, go ahead. Let us know what he says. But all that said, Packers win 27-18 on Sunday at Lambeau Field over the Cincinnati Bengals. They are now 3-1-1. Overall, a fine game, not a great game by this team. So let's just get right to it. It's time now for stock up, stock down. As Will is on the phone with Chef Ed, maybe I'll mimic the big voice guy. Time for stock up, stock down, which we do the day after every Packers game here on Mr. Irrelevant. Some players' stock goes up, some players' stock goes down. Some things stock go up, some things stock go down. And this is just for this game, coming out of this game, how we are feeling about particular players, where their stock goes after the 27-18 victory over the Cincinnati Bengals. We start with a stock up. Stock up. There it is. How about Matthew Golden? Terrific game for him. Despite still not scoring his first career touchdown, couple of long balls, couple of shifty plays where he catches the ball short and just takes it for some yak, which I know is one of Josh's favorite acronyms.
Not particularly.
3 catches, 86 yards for the rookie on 5 targets. Was the leading receiver on Sunday for the Green Bay Packers. So really good breakout game of sorts for Matthew Golden yesterday.
I'll get to my displeasure with Matt LaFleur later in stock up, stock down. But it's time to cut the crap, Matt LaFleur. Feature Matthew Golden. I don't want to see 9 targets for Romeo Doubs anymore. Anybody with eyes can see the difference between those two guys getting open, catching the ball, and making plays in the field. It's apparent. Everybody recognizes it. If you hear what Rob Demovsky said today, Matthew Golden recognizes it too. Because it is a different game. And when asked about it, Matt LaFleur said, that's how we do things around here, and that's how it's going to be. Change. Be better. It worked pretty well when Devontae was here, didn't it? You think Jamar Chase is thinking, no, we should spread the ball around more? Do they do that with Justin Jefferson? I mean, Jackson Smith and Jigba's getting 13 targets.
He's having a great year in Seattle.
Hey, they're winning too.
Yeah, they are.
Wouldn't you know it? You target your good players the most. The same way you give Josh Jacobs the majority of the touches out of the backfield, you should be giving them the
Hey, Will, hey, Hunter, remember when Josh said I'll get to my displeasure with Matt LaFleur a little bit later?
I got more for him.
I think he lied to us.
I got more for him.
All right, another stock up.
Stock up.
Jordan Morgan. He played every series aside from one in that game. He was the main factor to 2 of Josh Jacobs' touchdown. Go figure. When you play a guy in one spot and you tell him that's where he's going to play, he plays pretty damn well. First round pick, was drafted to be a tackle, hasn't had room for there. I actually think he'd be fine if they let him play there, but that's neither here nor there. I think they are finally playing their best 5 guys and giving them the opportunity they need. And it's no coincidence to me that when you have those 5 on the field, the run game looks pretty damn good.
Mm-hmm.
Stock down.
There we go.
Nice job, Will. Stock down to closing games. It's been an issue all year. I don't know that we've really talked about it extensively. It's a 9-point game. It's a 9-point victory. That's a 2-possession win for the Packers. So I'm not freaking out on this Monday about the Packers. A win is a win is a win. When you're won by 2 possessions, obviously didn't cover the large spread wherever you saw it, 13.5, 14.5 points. But it seems to be that the Packers take their foot off the gas a little bit towards the end of games. Now, they didn't do that offensively. They scored 17 of their 27 points in the fourth quarter yesterday. But they also allowed 11 of their 18 from the Bengals in the fourth quarter yesterday. So it just seems to me like the defense loosens up. But again, Jamar Chase made an incredible catch on his touchdown reception. I get that. But it seems to me that the defense may be more guilty of the foot off the gas a little bit in the second half, than even more so than the offense, which we saw the first 2 weeks as problematic. Closing out games almost seems to be this team's bugaboo as of late. We saw it in Cleveland. We saw it in Dallas. You saw it a little bit yesterday, but the game was never in jeopardy. It was obviously a 6-point game at one point in the fourth quarter. It was 24-18. You tack on that field goal, you make it a 2-possession game. But all in all, a little nervous about what that could bring, but not too nervous about the schedule upcoming. Arizona this week. You go to Pittsburgh in 2 weeks and Aaron Rodgers, which it could be a concern there on Sunday Night Football, but then you return home at the beginning of November against Carolina. So these should be some good wins and maybe allows you some time to nix this trend that we've seen through 5 games. But closing out games is my stock down. Stock down.
These 2 past stock downs can be correlated here because my stock down is once again Matt LaFleur. Many confounding decisions when it comes to play calling, sequencing of plays. The end of game situation where Jordan Love took that sack and then got bailed out by the 31-yard pass to Matthew Golden. What are we doing there? Why aren't we running the clock? It's 2nd and 5. You've run 2nd and 5 8 billion times this year. And frankly, you were lucky that Jordan Love just took a sack there because an incompletion puts you in a pretty bad spot. You get bailed out again. It's just the fact that he keeps making decisions. Oh, the field goal timeout decision. What the hell was that? You need to ask, should I call a timeout here? You should know. You're the head coach.
Stock up.
Whoa.
I think he was cutting off your rant. Are you done?
Wow. Unbelievable.
You're out on the floor.
I mean, he's been bad. I think the Green Bay Packers have one big issue, and it's their head coach.
Oh.
Yeah. Not that he can't improve. Not that it's curtains for him, but he hasn't helped his team the way he should have to this point in the year.
I don't disagree with that.
Yes. And he seems to be dug in on his process.
He's stubborn.
Which continues to fail and disappoint at every opportunity.
Yeah.
I mean, we've talked about it. He's alternated aggressive when you should have been conservative, conservative when you should have been aggressive. Well, guess what we're back to? Aggressive when we should have been conservative. No feel.
Stock up.
I'm going to go back to the positives because that's where I'm a little bit better. How about Jordan Love? Almost Jacob Mizorowski-esque. Throws an interception on the first drive and then just settles in and was terrific yesterday. 19 of 26, 259 yards and a touchdown. I thought he was really solid. Had the early pick, but otherwise led the offense. 27 points. I'm good with it. That's going to get you a win more times than not. 19 of 26. That's a terrific completion percentage. I think Love's got to be close to 70% completion percentage on the year as a whole, which is awesome improvement by him. Another 250-yard plus day. Only one touchdown, but Josh Jacobs was really great on the ground as well with 18 carries and 93 yards. Offense looked really solid against a not-so-good defense. Stock up to Love.
We're two knuckleheaded decisions away from Jordan Love being like a surefire top 3 MVP candidate.
Yeah.
Just stop being a knucklehead.
Correct.
He was impressive with his legs yesterday,
Yes,
too. A couple
awesome.
of third downs.
He was so good.
He is. I believe he has already topped his rushing total from last season.
Wouldn't surprise me one bit.
That third down, like
I
the
will
fake,
get you an answer on that.
the fake tush push they did, and the play kind of just blew up, and then he blew past those 3 guys for the first down. I think it was like 3rd and 2.
I can't officially report Jordan Love has already passed his rushing total from last
And
season.
the banner.
88 yards. Had 83 last year.
What did he have in 23?
247, which
Okay.
he is more on pace to do this year through
Yeah.
5 games. Yeah, 247 yards.
How many does he have right now?
88.
I think he'll surpass that 247 number.
I do too.
Yeah.
I do too. If he does more of what he did yesterday. But yeah, I agree with you on the MVP candidate side, right? Like, you look at that pick.
Well, he doesn't. If he doesn't throw the one against Cleveland, they win that game.
Correct. So they're 4-0-1.
Yes. And then this most recent one, they still got the win, but it did make everyone go, what the hell was that?
Oh, by the way, the Packers have the second best record in the NFC.
Correct.
At 3-1-1. So no freak out. You have one more stock down.
Stock down.
Rashawn Gary, where the hell are you?
Where's he been?
He has 4.5 sacks. He was the leader in the NFL. And then 2 weeks of complete and entire no-shows. And guess what? Yeah. Micah Parsons is getting double-teamed a lot. We know that. He's still making his pressures felt. But they're going to continue to double and triple team him if he can't get anyone else to the quarterback. Lucas Van Ness is hurt. Luckily, no break. But they're just going to double team him 90% of the time because guess what? That guy over there ain't doing anything. And all you sons of guns who keep telling me he's a good player, look at his pressure rate. Where the hell does he go? And why does it happen for multiple games at a time?
I love it.
He was excellent through 2 games.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Utter no-shows.
Stock down.
I'm stocking down the volume on the microphones to the referees for an entire most of the first half. They just were not working at all. So, I mean, on TV, you could obviously tell after a while with the help of the announcers, but being at the game, you probably were very confused.
Well, hold on. Stock up to you for knowing the signals or stock down to you for not knowing the signals?
Stock up to me for knowing the signals and for recognize people that may not be knowing the signals and looking out for them. So stock down for the people that don't know the signals.
He's a good friend. He's a good guy.
Good guy. All right, that's our stock up, stock down for this week. Oh, we have another stock up?
I was just stock upping myself there.
Oh, okay, got it. That's it for stock up, stock down on this Monday. Packers 3-1-1. I'm sure we'll get to them more later this week as they get ready for the Arizona Cardinals. Quick NFL note on the earlier NFL note I mentioned. I didn't realize this when I was looking at the Titans schedule. They host their former head coach this week. The Patriots going to Tennessee and Mike Vrabel. So that's kind of fun after they fire their head coach. It's a couple years after they fired Mike Vrabel. All right, time now for Will's Week in Review. I actually have no idea what it is this week. I don't know what the theme is. So we're all going to find out together. It's time now for Will's Weekend in Review.
We start at American Family Field, where the Cubs came to Milwaukee to take on the Brewers for Game 5 of the NLDS. AmFam was rocking after Trevor NyQuil put the Cubs bats to sleep in the first inning. While Will I Am Contreras already had a home run in the playoffs, he said, "I just can't get enough," and hit a solo shot in the bottom of the first to give the Brewers a 1-0 lead. Whoop! Coming out of the bullpen for the Brewers, Jacob Mizzo Rottweiler was a dog. Woof, woof. Going 4 innings, allowing just 3 hits and 1 earned run. All tied up in the bottom of the 4th, Andrew Vaughn looked like Bambi the way he became the new King Vaughn of the forest as he hit a solo home run to take the lead for the Brewers. With 2 runners on in the top of the 6th, Chad Patrick was a star and made Ian Hapless look like he was living under a rock as he struck out looking to end the inning. In the bottom of the 7th, Bryce Terang looked like Jake from State Farm the way he provided the Brewers with some insurance as he hit a solo shot to extend the lead to 3-1. In the 9th, it'd be Abner for the Brewers that would send the Cubs to the Uri Beach as he went to 2 innings to get the save and sent Pete Crow Strong and the Cubs packing while the Brewers advanced to the NLCS for the first time since 2018. What? That's it for Will's Week. Oh, never mind. Apparently there was a Packers game the next day. What? Let's go to Lambeau where the Packers face the lowly Cincinnati Bengals. The offense got off to a hot start as Jordan continued to spread the love, but this time he left no stone unturned as he threw a bad interception to Geno Stone. What? In the second quarter, A Jordan Love to Matthew Golden 20-yard completion set up Lucas, who was kicking since McManus was Havre sick, as he hit a 43-yard field goal. Kicker controversy? Whoop! After a couple of back-and-forth punts, a couple deep balls from Jordan Love made Josh Jacobs look like Josh DiMaggio, how he was always right, and went behind right guard Jordan Morgan for a 3-yard touchdown. Packers up 10-0. Give me one, Josh. In the third quarter, Flack and co. drove the ball down the field for a touchdown to make it 10-7. Wow, this game is ass. In the fourth, the Packers would respond as October's very own Drake and Josh Jacobs looked like the best I ever had, and just hold on, we're going home, the way he went double platinum for his second touchdown of the game. After a Bengals field goal, Matt LaFleur remembered he has Tucker and finally crafted a 19-yard pass for a touchdown to make it 24-10 Packers. On the ensuing Bengals drive with 5 minutes left in the fourth, Jamar had Keyshawn Nixon chasing him as he had an unbelievable touchdown, and the Bengals converted the two-pointer to make it 24-18. But when they needed it most, the gold was in as Jordan found Matthew for a 31-yard pass on third down to set up a field goal and ice the game. Packers win 27-18. With your Will's Weekend review on Will Sommers. And lightheaded.
Yeah, I imagine. What happened at the end of the baseball update? You just lost the voice entirely.
I started to get lightheaded. I might be retiring the voice after this week. This was a long one.
What if it changed it and it gave you like a gravelly Berman voice? That'd be sick.
That's kind of what I'm hoping for.
You want to
when you hang upside down long enough,
he's
going to
be when Chris Berman eventually retires, which might never happen.
Yeah.
He might be alive forever.
Yeah.
Will might be in the running to replace him.
No.
What do you mean no?
I heard that man say Amika Pikabuka. I will never live up to that.
That is
really good.
It is awesome.
I heard that man say Amika Pikabuka. That's good.
It makes no sense. There's no reason it should be there.
Levi says, "What the hell is going on out here?" Chef Ed says, "Pretty good, William. Pretty good. Pretty good."
Speaking of me being right, they've got the Sunday Night Football game on.
Yeah.
Have you joined everyone else in believing me that the Chiefs are going to win the Super Bowl?
So I did. I had the split screen going last night with the baseball game on the left and the audio coming from the baseball game and the football game on the right. So I wasn't watching super intently. But, I mean...
They belt to ass.
Correct. The Detroit Lions, who have looked unbelievable.
Yes. Rashee Rice returns this week.
Here's the thing.
Patty Mahomes,
so the thing with the Chiefs is, I just don't want to admit it. Because I'm sick of them, right? But as I've said for years on this program, we're on our third football season. We've done the show since the day after Jordan Love beat the Bears in his first start, right? That's when the show launched. I've said it every year we've done the show, now being NFL season number 3. You can't count the Chiefs dead until they're dead. You just can't.
And then once they're dead, bury them again.
Yes, correct.
Put cement over the top.
Because it just doesn't happen. It doesn't happen.
Strouf actually said this going back even further. Those here in Madison will remember the high noon hour. And you even said it back then. So this is going back 4 football seasons.
I've said forever.
I've taken a different approach to the Chiefs, where I spent my life hating the Patriots and their dominance.
You're embracing the Chiefs?
I'm embracing them because I feel like I let a lot of excellence go by with me hating. And granted, there were cheating scandals and things that certainly pushed me.
And that's why they're more likable.
Yeah, and pushed me towards that way. But on the field, everybody on that offense, when they're not doing the, hey, let's give it to Kareem Hunt, they're fun to watch. And when they're ripping back deep throws and playing football the way it's damn intended to be in 2025, and for some reason Tyquan Thornton is like making deep catches, it's just so good. So good. I had to watch Dink and Duck City against the Packers through 5 weeks, and it's been awful. If I see another drag route or another quick out, I'm going to lose my mind. Another 5-yard button hook. Yeah. Please make a stop.
He's so over the offensive play caller. Oh my goodness, couldn't come through more.
Well, I was saying even the defensive side against the Packers,
true. Well, they haven't played very many good offenses is the issue also.
Well, and when they did, those guys couldn't get anything down the field.
That's true. Yeah, they played the Lions in week 1. All right, time now for What We Missed, What We Learned. It's presented by Door County Distillery, locally produced, handcrafted, award-winning spirits made locally in Door County. Gins, brandies, whiskeys, rums. They've got it all, and they've got you covered for the big game tonight. Make sure you stop by your local retailer. Check out doorcountydistillery.com. Find the retailer nearest you, no matter where you're at. Milwaukee, Madison, Stevens Point, Green Bay. And find a huge list of unique cocktail recipes on their website, doorcountydistillery.com.
We can talk about the Badgers.
Real quick. I want everybody to give a one-sentence summary about the Badgers.
Can I just quote Luke Fickell?
Is it one sentence?
There's
if it's the quote I think
in
it is, I think you should just do the whole thing.
This is from Luke Fickell on what gives them optimism going forward.
Oh boy.
There's nothing to lose. If you're going to go out against the number one team in the country, you can't be held back by being perfect. Hopefully, some of the pressure comes off. What's holding us back? Whew. I think he's got more to lose.
His job?
Yeah.
I mean, James Franklin got bought out for $50 million from Penn State yesterday. The buyout, once we get through the college football season, and the Badgers obviously will not be making a bowl game because they are ass, that buyout drops to just over $25 million. I would imagine that buyout is being paid. You cannot allow this to go on for another season.
Okay. Here's the thing, though.
Oh, here we go.
No. I'm not saying this because I want this to happen, but I'm just the way that sometimes decisions happen in Madison. Already Penn State is going to be looking for a new head coach. Obviously, a much better job situation than Wisconsin. The rumor is that Matt Rule, basically, that's his job to lose. He played at Penn State under Paterno. So then Nebraska, better job situation. I would argue Virginia Tech is a better situation. I would say Arkansas is a better spot. Florida's going to fire their coach. That's a better spot than Wisconsin. You start going through the list of schools that have already or will also fire their coaches. I'm concerned their decision is going to be, we're not going to be able to compete with these other schools that are hiring coaches, so let's keep them for another year. That's what I'm really worried about right now.
Don't you get yourself in a situation where the same thing happens the year after that?
Yep.
I know.
Maybe Kalen DeBoer gets fired. Maybe what it sounds like and what should happen is bleep the buyout, fire him now.
Get ahead of it.
Yeah.
I mean that's what they did with Paul Christ, and we thought at the time that was the right move.
Yes.
I'm not saying
the Badgers
they'll do the same
also
thing
had
again,
a guy like Jim Leonard was the right fit to then move in as the interim head coach. Jeff Grimes is not in that spot. Mike Tressel is not in that spot. The quarterback coach Kenny Guyton is not a guy that I am.
But it doesn't
with.
matter. It's already a lot. But it's already a lost season.
No, it does matter. It does matter from the sense that I think they are so ill-equipped to be head coaches that you get into a spot where you're putting these guys that are going to go out there and play in danger. Because the team is going to be so ill-prepared to play.
But they're football coaches. I mean, it's not like we're grabbing the janitor and saying, "Hey, coach the football team now."
Hey, Barry, we need to call the Barry card again.
Yeah, maybe Barry interim. Yeah, that could be fun. That could be really fun, actually. I don't know. Coach Gordon, Melvin Gordon's not up to anything right now, is he? You could do something. This pack caps. I heard Bill Belichick is going to be out of a job.
I also think they're going to wait until the end of the year because then your timing of when you would do transfer portal stuff lines up. Like if you're going to fire a guy and obviously no one has any shot of getting the head coaching job currently on that staff, you're just firing them and then you're going to sit there inactive in recruiting and transfer portal, where at least when Leonard took the interim spot from Christ, there was still recruiting happening. So I think there's a level of okay, we're going to fire him at a time. Like the timeline matches up to get fired right after the Minnesota game. Like he may not be on the bus coming back from Minneapolis.
Yeah, that's probably
Apple and a bus ticket.
The case. There you go. All right, well, what do we miss?
All right, today we got Cancun, the most populous city in the Mexican state of Quintana Roo, located in southeast Mexico on the northeast coast of the Yucatan Peninsula, and is the current home of the Chicago Cubs.
Very well done. Yeah, that's good.
Good job.
Also, great sports weekend. Too bad there's no good Monday Night Football games on tonight.
Agreed. Yeah. Commanders Bears isn't very good. Falcons Bills. I have no interest
the Bears play tonight.
Oh no, I don't know. I didn't mean to say that.
Too bad the Brewers play, and I won't be watching.
We'll have it on one of the TVs.
Have we reached?
2-0 come out before the bye. I'd like to put that out there.
Have we reached? Oh no, Drake May is better than Caleb Williams territory.
I think we've reached. Oh yes, Drake May is better than Caleb Williams. I can confirm.
And I'm not trying to get like after you. He's been so good.
He's in the MVP conversation.
He's awesome.
Drake May is in the MVP conversation.
He's been so impressive.
He was terrific.
He's
yesterday.
awesome.
All right, we're way late. We got to go. Joshy, Will,
Got a
and
lot
I
to talk about here.
I know it's been a big show. We will be back with you at 7:00 tonight for our Brewers Dodgers watch along on YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee and ESPN Madison.
I think so.
Yes, we will be on their YouTube.
Do we have smelling salts for this?
No, but we should get some.
Can we acquire some?
Let's get some.
Let's work on that.
That'd be. I almost swore. That'd be awesome.
Where can we get smelling salts in the next?
You leave that to me.
GNC.
You have them?
I will discover some.
Yeah! Smelling salts, 7:00 sharp on YouTube. You're not going to want to miss it. We'll talk to you Wednesday. Peace.